Well, good morning, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and lay it out for you. I am loving law enforcement in South Carolina on this hot Monday, July 6th. Loving them. They did not screw around with these two at all. To the point, they could have waited till Monday to tell the public what was going on, but they took their July 4th to stand on the hot pavement and tell everybody this is what's up. And if you look at your screen, someone cannot go missing without someone knowing something somewhere. How is everybody doing this morning? How was your holiday? Woo! Look at this wicked Mrs. Saul. Holly, what's up, girl? What is going on? Tell you what, I had a great 4th of July. I think even with the heat, I gained 20 pounds. You know, potato salad, all the pasta salads, all the little 4th of July treats. Oh, man. And it rained Saturday night, which actually made the fireworks illuminate a little better. So I hope yours was fun and you didn't get too hot. And let's take a second and tell everybody good morning. Tell you what, old Mad Dog and Cookie really messed up, did they not? Tell you what, little Javeayah is a gorgeous, gorgeous little girl. And they have done nothing but lie and lie and lie. Look at this text message between Cookie, because I'm not going to use their names because they actually have nice names and I don't want to insult anybody with that name. You know how we do around here. By the way, please double check to make sure you are subscribed and please hit the like. It helps out your old buddy Brooks. Look at this. Her brother was already getting vibes that something was going on with Javeayah. He asked Shay, Cookie, because that's her nickname. Why? I don't know. This was Sunday, May 3rd. He said, you ready to give birth? It looks like it because she sent him a picture because she said she's as big as a cow. And he said, y'all too perfect. Got to get right and get like y'all. Y'all winning, I wish. What y'all ate looked good as shit. He said, where's my niece? Did you not include her? All right, so her brother knew something was up. He knew. This is where she tells her brother that she's due on July 15th, but she knew she was never going to make it. They said July 15th, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it that long. I'm too ready for the baby to come because somebody else needs to play pirates with Javeayah. I'm tired. So she sent that on May 4th to her brother. Now they're saying that Javeayah has been not of this planet for over a month. It might turn out longer when they find her, and I believe they will find her. Now, the brother had to have known something was wrong with this picture because she sent it on May 4th. There is no grass. There is no leaves on the trees. And she is in winter clothes. Absolutely, she was in winter clothes. He had to have known something was wrong. Then we get to June 30th. Cookie goes into labor and realizes somebody's going to be asking about Javeayah. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Good morning, Boober. concoct a story. She was playing with the chickens and disappeared. She never dreamt that they would question her in the damn hospital. I think she killed her, and I think Mad Dog buried her somewhere. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, and that's okay, because he's dumb as a box of rocks. Let's get to some of their back history. The rumors are way too realistic for me not to believe, considering the sources of the rumors. Do I believe Mad Dog's girlfriend is pregnant? Wouldn't doubt it, because he was flopping with another woman across town. Do I believe there was a fully functioning washer and dryer at Cookie's and at his girlfriend's? I believe it. Law enforcement knew from the beginning the sucker, Mad Dog, Cookie story, and especially the laundry, made no sense. Do I believe that the cadaver dogs alerted only on his truck and not the rest of the 3,000 acres that they searched? I believe that. Do I believe that her phone history had a picture of a very, very injured Javeayah, and then many Google searches about head injuries and specifically brain bleeds? She was already in labor when she called 911. Why did he stay at the hospital with her when she has nurses and doctors around her? He should have been out there looking for Javeayah, but he knew there was no point. Do I believe that the new baby tested positive for drugs? I have no reason not to. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm certainly not going to say that this didn't happen. Gail's 75. Is this live? You better believe it, girlfriend. And I'm going to put the link up if anybody wants to grab it and come up and say hi and tell me what you think about this. If you read this article from Chester County, South Carolina, this is in 2022. Mad Dog hit a pedestrian and drove off from the scene. Troopers say a pedestrian died in the hospital on Friday. This happened April 2nd, 2022. On March 29th, around 5:30, police say the pedestrian was hit by a 2001 Chevy SUV heading west on South Carolina Highway 9. The driver was the one and only Mad Dog. 19 years old at the time. 3 now? Makes sense because it's 4 years ago. Pedestrian was taken to the hospital where the person later died on April 2nd. Well, he got away with that, but he's not getting away with this. Nope, not at all. Wonder what they think knowing that outside the old trailer, there's a huge memorial going on. There's a vigil going on in Aiken County. I think that was it last night or Saturday night? I don't know. But their online persona basically just hid their demons. And they had quite a story to tell. They had quite a secret to keep, and it's disgusting. In these cases, and we have playlists on every one of them. By the way, Javeayah's playlist is pinned. Absolutely, it's pinned. Check it out if you can stomach it. The kids are always the one that pay. Let's look at the trailer. This is from WRDW. I'm missing a chicken coop, but maybe you guys will spot it. There is no sound to this, so you just have to look and listen to my annoying voice. We have breaking news. Jules is driving, everyone. She is driving. Everyone say a prayer for everyone on the road, because I know what it's like when Jules is driving. Okay, I see a little garden. Was there chickens in there? Looks like we have some kind of bait equipment, fishing equipment out there on the porch. Looks like a water hose hanging over. Remember, when DSS, and I'm going to go ahead and say it, and I very rarely say these things because I just hate to say it. This would be a failure of Department of Social Services in South Carolina, because it turns out that it was Mad Dog's mama that kept calling DSS on Cookie. She wanted to raise that baby girl because she did not trust those two to raise her. Poor little thing. I think I do hear chickens.
You said Cindy's going.
Maybe the chickens were under the trailer. I don't know. And, okay. And as far as Javeayah being nonverbal, that is something that Cookie made up.
Hi, baby. Hey.
What you want to say about the baby?
Hi, baby. Hey.
What you want to say about the baby?
Hi, baby. Hi, baby.
Does that not break your heart? She's so cute. Little baby doll saying hi to the baby. Boston said, "Oh my God, I can't. She's so beautiful." I'm telling you, she is. All right, I'm going to recap what Mad Dog said in his one and only interview, when all he did was open mouth, insert foot, and then change foot, because his story made 0 sense. I'm talking not a lick of sense.
I got up around 5-ish, and my daughter.
So he got up at 5 in the afternoon. Okay. Remember, there's a working washer and dryer there, and Cookie works for home. She works for something called Transcom. She gets $1,300 every 2 weeks. We'll talk about that shortly. I think the Transcom is part of why Javeayah is no longer with us, and I'll explain it in another segment.
I stopped playing. My girl was out there watching her. She was in and out of the house. I say that, and I was going to get up and wash the clothes. Yeah, what else can I say? I left.
Holly, why did they want another baby, I wonder? I don't think anybody wanted any baby at all. I think if the girlfriend across town that he's been flopping with, hi Jenny, is pregnant, it's an oopsie daisy. I do not believe for a minute Javeayah was planned, or the new baby. No. For those of you just coming in, hello, how are you?
Left the house around six, like late six, maybe like early seven. It was probably around like 6, and I got back to the house.
I almost wonder, him being gone for so long, and we know that I'm sure he did pick up some Mad Dog and some cigars, cigarettes, whatever you call them, probably for his road trip, because those dogs hit on his truck. It almost makes me wonder if they weren't keeping her somewhere and he had to go and get rid of her before she made, remember, I'm just wondering, before she made the 911 call, the very scripted 911 call, which they knew did not make any sense. She knew she was in labor. She knew, Cookie knew she was in labor.
Maybe around 7:15, because my girl and my daughter said they wanted some candy. Like she wanted some suckers and she wanted some cookies. And I had went to like three stores maybe in between those times to go get gas, Black Miles, and I had got some drinks, like some little Mad Dogs and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And when I went,
makes perfect sense because 4-year-olds really love Mad Dogs, don't they? Sure.
I left and I went back to dry the clothes because I was watching them. I was sitting there for a little minute, and I ended up going to another store. Like these 3 stores that I'm saying, like I sold the 3 stores already, but I went to a store last, gotcha. And I was back at the washing machine that was right beside the Circle K. And then when I was at the Circle K, I was seeing a lot of police and stuff going through, and I was wondering. I was like, a lot of stuff goes on in Aiken to where like you be like, okay, it's police or whatever, but you don't.
I know nothing about Aiken County, but I can't see that it's any worse than any other place. He's making it sound like it's the hood of Detroit or Memphis by the damn airport. I don't know what he's talking about, but I cannot find any crime statistics that make it sound at all like it's some sort of crazy crime-ridden area. I could be wrong by what I'm reading. I could be wrong. Hey, I'm not buying it. I could, excuse me, I got myself choked up. I could be wrong. But he also took a page out of Don Wells' book, and he said there's been people snooping around the property. So here we go. Another wild goose chase. Something that didn't happen to try to keep the police off of their case. They knew from the get-go. Hence why when that sheriff got back, he called SLED, which is South Carolina Law Enforcement Division. It's their state police. And the FBI. Jonathan, did you see what the caretaker said, Brooks? No. They had a caretaker? You mean like a babysitter? I did not. Can you grab the link and come up? Here's a link if you want. Educate me.
I didn't know that it was my house. But my girlfriend, at the time, she didn't have service. She didn't have service on her phone, so she couldn't call me to let me know anything that was going on.
She didn't pay her bill. That's it. She could only make emergency calls. Okay? No minutes on the phone, as some people would say.
Yeah, I didn't know that it was my house. But my girlfriend, at the time, she didn't have service. She didn't have service on her phone, so she couldn't call me to let me know anything that was going on. So she just ended up calling 911. So when I came back to the house, before I got on my road, I seen a police truck with a drone out, and then that's when I started speeding up because I was like, "It's something going down like close to my house." When I got turned on my road, I seen a whole bunch of police like right at my house. So that's when I hurried up and I got to the house, and I was like, "What's going on?" I thought my girlfriend was in labor because she was supposed to have a baby. You know what I'm saying? Soon, so she ended up.
Because she was supposed to have a baby. Make this make sense. She was supposed to have a baby. Bullshit. He knew she was in labor. Her due date was July 15th. She gave birth July 1st. She wasn't supposed to have a baby on June 30th or go into labor. I thought all the police were going that way. No, you knew she was going to call your daughter in missing. Her daughter as well. You knew it. She wasn't due until July 15th. You thought a bunch of police no ambulance were going over there for labor? No. This is probably a worse script than the Jack and Lily case and the Summer case combined. The difference is South Carolina didn't play around, okay? They piece it together real quick, even if it's circumstantial for right now. They're not waiting to find Javeayah's body. No. They press the gas and they press forward. And they have every right to.
Having a child that same night on July 1st, but she came up crying to me saying my Javeayah missing. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like I kind of freaked out, and the detectives were telling me I couldn't go look and stuff like that because they didn't want me to mess up the area or whatever. But that's basically what happened up until all of this came about.
Okay. Is she known to run away? Like, has there been past issues with that with her? Is she known to do that?
No, she does not run away, but I will say that she's friendly. Like, she's friendly. Like, she doesn't, like, it's not a stranger danger thing where it's not like get away from me. Like, she didn't get that. She didn't understand it. She was just.
Loser. Mad dog, you loser. In cases like this, it's very rarely stranger danger. We've only covered a few cases where it was stranger danger. I think we did a throwback Thursday about Sean Hornbeck. Definitely stranger danger. We did a throwback Thursday about the 3 girls that were kidnapped in Cleveland. That was a stranger. We have an extensive playlist about Michael Vaughn. Definitely strangers. The other 99.99% of the time, it's someone the child knows that they trust. Danny Dane, how you doing, girl? 4-year-olds don't run away. No, they don't. They might wander off, but they're found very fast. When you're calling a child's name, they can follow sound. She's not deaf. Come on. And this, she's autistic, making that up is crazy. Cookie has been trying to get an autism check off this little girl since she was born.
I was friendly to everybody. She was very respectful. Like, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. Like, that's what she do. We raised her great. Like, she was a real smart kid. That's why, like, they had me kind of, like, messed up. But they were saying that she was not, like, she's non-verbal and that. Like, yeah, she was that saying she's autistic, and like that was like, the media was like messing. I don't want to cuss, but that was messing my head up a little bit because they don't even have a good description of my child to try to describe her.
What's a good, is she autistic or is she?
Do y'all remember how many times I've gotten my ass handed to me when I have picked apart when someone, a parent, for example, uses their child in past tense? I caught hell for it in Summer's case. I caught hell for it in Evelyn's case. Now, that was just on Facebook, okay? I use Facebook like my bitch. I caught hell for it with Gannon, again, just a Facebook group. Have we ever been wrong when a parent uses the term was? Nope. You all are way too smart for that. Rachel, exactly. There's another one. Classic and sincere.
Is she on the spectrum at all? Is that true?
She was on the spectrum when she was born, but they said that she couldn't be tested until she was 4 years old. Okay, so it's on. You guys just don't know. Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly. We never got her tested, and she's never given us signs that she is, autistic. She talks good. She's like very like she talks better than me. She got more respect than me.
Understood. So you guys have no idea what could have happened to her.
Look at two Boston moms. She's had it. Effing liar. No, two Boston moms. Totally off subject. Did you watch Love and Death yet on Netflix? Joy J said, nah, we've been around too long. We're not the girls next door anymore. We're the girls down the street. We've seen some things. We can call it real quick. Don't get me going on Leilani Simon. He was a happy baby. He was laughing all the time, but maybe someone took him to save him. Too many examples.
I have no clue. Sir, I don't like, it's really wild, but I had gave all of these detectives this information about people snooping around the house lately, since I've started work, from Friday, Thursday really, but from Friday to Monday, I had to work. I was working night shifts, and every time I left,
no one gives a shit about Thursday to Monday. No one cares. You know why? Because she's been missing way longer. This company that old girl was working for, where she's got to make customer phone calls. Hi, Shelly in Oklahoma, where she has to take customer phone calls throughout the day. I think it's called Transcom. They get real mad if there's any background noise. I'm talking a ceiling fan that's too loud, a barking dog, or it could be a child. And I think when she whooped her ass, that was the day she took the picture and she started Googling. But you know what? She got right back to her shift. Got a hold of old boy. Have to do something about this. He should have turned her in that damn day. He doesn't take care of her. Now, that is just my theory.
My girl would when she would tell me it's been people doing this, and then the third around the house they've been called, they be on the phone with people around the house, just talking and walking real slow and things like that. And I've been telling them that, but
how are you doing through all of this?
Oh, dear God.
I didn't got.
It's okay.
I didn't got a little bit of it out, but it's not knowing is killing me. It's killing me, because.
Oh, I'm sure it's been killing you for what I'm going to assume has been more than just a month. But they won't know until they find her body, to which I believe that they will. First, let's tell Angel P, thank you for making it rain. Thank you so much for supporting this channel, Ange. The guilt might be killing him, but that'd be about it. Obviously, the guilt wasn't killing him enough, considering he decided to make up a whole ass alibi for himself last Tuesday when he knew old girl was in labor. And look at this. Get your umbrellas. What are we gonna do? We got a tsunami in here. I don't even believe that the phone wasn't working now. You think that girl who works from home doesn't have a signal? BS. None of this makes sense. No. But I'm going to go ahead and give you all a little spoiler alert. They both went to court yesterday. They were denied bond and denied a public defender, because each of them have paychecks coming in. Telling you, I'm loving South Carolina a lot today. Now, part of the no bond is it can't be set by this particular court. It's got to go to circuit court. Well, circuit court is too busy for Mad Dog and Cookie. Circuit court can't see their asses until September 18th and 19th. Then they'll deal with their housing conditions and getting them representation. Hate to say it, but I did laugh a little too hard on that one.
Like, I mean, you see stuff like this often, but you don't expect it to be you.
And is the mother, is she your wife?
No, she's not my wife. She was my girlfriend.
Okay. How is she doing?
She's still a little tore up, but she's making it. She's trying to stay calm because we just, like I said, we just recently had a child. She had to really go in labor early because all the stress that was going down. She had that baby the same night that all of this happened.
Okay. We have some questions from the chat. And look at your old buddy Brooks. Googling it up. Call me Lisa K. Ruitz. South Carolina does indeed use the death penalty. They reinstated it in 2024. Probably because you know who won the election. Okay? Hate to say it. And right now, they have overturned some people that had life and they were given death. And now we're back to lethal injection. Okay? And they've even one-upped it and said they're thinking about using the firing squad. But they have something called a shield law to conceal the identities of executioners and the drug suppliers. So, yeah, they're down with it. They're down with it. Okay? That's what happens. Hey, we don't need people like that on this earth. We don't. We talked about Taylor Parker a few weeks ago. State of Texas didn't care that she pees sitting down. They're like, we'll give the needle to a bitch. That's what you get. Here, she's going to be about my age. Going to hell. So, him especially needs to worry. All right, now let's check this out. If you missed it on Saturday, 4th of July, we're going to go through it again. Because this is what the sheriff slammed us all with on Saturday. I think Junebug might have given herself away because, you know, she would volunteer to be on the squad. But I'm not calling her out. Not me. I'm not doing it. She's not shy about it either. Hell yeah. Bring on the squad.
Morning. I'm Macon County Sheriff Marty Sawyer. And we're gathered here, and I'm gathered here with all these law enforcement partners to make the hardest announcement that I've ever had to make in my 36 years career in law enforcement. I'm deeply saddened to tell you that our investigation and evidence leads us to believe that 4-year-old Javeayah Harris is deceased. It's the outcome.
Now remember, they know something because they're not saying we believe. They're saying she is. I'm going to go ahead and take an uneducated guess at this. When the K9 dogs hit Mad Dog's truck, I think they picked up on human decomp, which, by the way, starts at about 13 seconds of death. Okay? I got that from Body Bags with Joseph Scott Morgan. And we know a man that handsome would never lie to us. Emmylou, have they found her? No, they are in Fairfield County. So, Rachel, you said it was 109 heat index. Ugh, bless them. They didn't even do it in the air conditioning.
That we all feared, and sadly, it's the outcome that we must face.
Hold on. WSEM 723, are you a radio station? Am I on the radio? They do give the death penalty. Thank you, WSEM 723. I appreciate it. I really do. I just Googled it up. Not only the needle, according to Google, that I don't 100% trust, but sometimes it's all we got. They're considering the old squad, the firing squad.
We'll have to face it together as a community. Our search for Javeayah drives on. We are continuing to put massive law enforcement resources to work to recover Javeayah and bring her home. We all hoped and prayed to find her alive. But it's extremely important to bring her home to her family, and it's important to bring her home for us.
Besides the obvious, and we know what the obvious is, and that's this little precious angel.
Hi, baby. Hey.
What you want to say about the baby?
Hi, baby. Hey.
What you want to say about the baby?
Hi, baby. Hi, baby.
That would be the obvious. But when I hear grown men, grown women that have been in law enforcement long enough to make their hair gray and they're choking back tears, yeah, I'm going to pray for them as well. Hey, Jude, thank you for the Crime Lines and Lies membership, growing this family with a quickness. Speaking of family, Lolo is having surgery tomorrow. So we are going to send her some well wishes right now. Pray it up, my friends. Girlfriend, you keep in touch and you tell me what's going on.
We are currently searching an area of interest right now, not in Aiken County. And I am not disclosing where that's at. But I'm sure you understand, if in fact Javeayah's body is where we think it is, it's going to be a difficult time for everybody there. And we don't need anybody from the outside of law enforcement, trying to access that area. Today, I'm announcing that we have arrested Javeayah's parents. We've arrested her dad, 23-year-old Javeayah Harris, and her mom, 22-year-old Michaela Herring.
Ah, I was muted and saying genius things. Genius things. 22 and 23. They're younger than my kids. They're going to spend the rest of their life behind bars, and more than likely, one or both is going to get the death penalty. True story. If they don't try their hardest, and it's going to be a lot to get right with God, which is going to be repentance and confession. Confession for what you did. Nobody cares why you did it. Don't even care about that. And when you get that squad or that stick in your arm, you're going to meet your maker. And your maker is going to send your ass right down with the other demons. Hell, you might have a good time down there, considering what you're into.
For homicide by child abuse and filing a false police report. Additional charges may be forthcoming. We'll figure that out as the investigation goes further. We have spoken to Javeayah's extended family, and we'd ask that you respect their privacy. We can only imagine what they're going through. We put every resource available to find Javeayah and to bring her home safely. I want you to pay close attention to these next two sentences. This is very important. Sadly, the night of the 911 call on June 30th, when that call was made, it was already too late to save Javeayah. At this time, our investigation supports that she had been deceased for at least a month. I want to express my sincere gratitude to every law enforcement agency, local, state, and federal, and all of our volunteer fire departments in Aiken County who stood alongside us this whole journey for the past 3 or 4 days in this heat and long hours. There's too many agencies to name.
Let me tell you how much I respect this department. They still searched overnight in the heat, skeeters, coons, and the whole 9 yards to prove their point that they knew she was already gone. But they still did it. And as they're searching, this gentleman, who in my opinion is a very good sheriff, got a hold of SLED, FBI, and said, I'm going to need your help because this might not be in my jurisdiction. Might not be. However, Aiken County is still involved. What that tells me, I've been wrong before, so don't be writing this down unless you just think I'm not much of a genius, tells me that they had her body with her. Cookie did. And when she went into labor, she told old boy, you got to do something with her, and then I'm going to call the police and say she's missing. That's the only thing that makes sense to me, because we went through the Madeline Soto case, another case of she was a great girl. And we know one police department said, we're not handling this anymore because it didn't happen here.
But I am going to name a few that played the key role and supported the Aiken County Sheriff's Office in this operation. Special Agent in charge, Kevin Moore with the FBI Field Office in Columbia. You'll hear from him in just a minute. Major Patterson with the South Carolina Highway Patrol, Teal with the State Law Enforcement Division, Sheriff Rowland with the Edgefield County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Coon with the Lexington County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Boone with the Kershaw County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Gino Brantley with the Richmond County Sheriff's Office, and Chief Baranco and Johnson with the Aiken and North Augusta Department of Public Safety. A big thank you goes out to Paul Matthews and Aiken County Emergency Management, who opened this EOC for us at 4.
Hold on. Is today's Nicey's birthday? I'll have to stop the show for a second. Nicey has been an amazing advocate for children on this channel and an amazing friend to all of us for years. Everyone take a minute and tell her happy birthday.
Wednesday morning, and it's been manned ever since then. Aiken County EMS, Lexington County Fire Service, and for all the other sheriffs that's called me this week, offering support, encouragement, manpower, or equipment, whatever we needed. The professionalism, cooperation, and dedication demonstrated by everyone is nothing short of exceptional. Every agency brought valuable resources, specialized expertise, but most of all, an unwavering commitment to bring Javeayah home. Also, I want to thank you, the media, for covering our investigation, for helping spread Javeayah's picture to our community, and hopes of locating her. And finally, I want to thank our community from the encouragement, patience, prayers, and support. All that means more to us as law enforcement and first responders than you'll ever know. We received an overwhelming amount of support through shared information, donations of food and water, and countless acts of kindness that reminds us.
Let's have a round of applause, please, for the powers that be in South Carolina. And some people don't trust them, but the FBI certainly didn't let us down this time.
While we are so proud to serve the citizens of Aiken County, I'd like to especially say thank you to Bethel Baptist Church, who's right around the corner from where this started. They opened their doors to us. They provided food, water, restrooms, and probably most importantly, air conditioning for those guys that were out in the woods searching. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Special Agent in Charge Kevin Moore.
Thanks, Sheriff. And good morning. I'm Kevin Moore, Special Agent in Charge of the FBI's Columbia Field Office. And today,
Woo! The FBI's even given a statement. Wow. Okay. And you know you're a good sheriff when you let the big dogs in instead of taking care of things yourself. Ronnie Lawson, Nanos, there's a few sheriffs that need to take a lesson. Don't get me going on Alana Raffield.
a family and this community are hurting from this tragedy, the loss of a 4-year-old Javeayah. We want to offer our sincerest condolences to Javeayah's loved ones and to this community. The men and women of the FBI have been here in Aiken County since the beginning, working alongside the sheriff's office and our law enforcement partners. With the information we had at the time, we put every available resource into finding Javeayah. That included dozens of FBI personnel who were part of the searches, the neighborhood canvases, the digital media review, and interviews. We also had members of the FBI's Behavioral Analysis Unit, the Child Abduction Rapid Deployment Team, and our technical experts involved. Whenever a child goes missing, it's a joint effort to find them, and the FBI works hand in glove to assist law enforcement agencies in doing so. It's heartbreaking that we are not standing here with better news. We want to thank the community for all the support, for the tips, and for showing compassion in trying to locate Javeayah. Thank you to our law enforcement partners. It's truly one team. Now we are all focused on pursuing justice for Javeayah, because that's what she deserves. Thank you, Sheriff.
Tina Kent, thank you. Thank you for supporting this channel and out of the kindness of your heart, donating a membership to the fam. Kimberly, I don't know. I know what I don't see. No advocate groups. Oh yeah, the agenda doesn't fit. Ooh, Kimberly, salty. Ooh.
Thank you, sir. Now I'm going to take a few questions, but understand this is still an active investigation that we are working as we speak and we stand here. So answers may be limited, or I may tell you I'm just not going to answer that question. So
When did this investigation change from search to a recovery? I know that we heard from you earlier this week about it being a missing person search. So where did that change and how did that change?
well, if you'll remember correctly, when I said that, I also said that there was another team doing an investigation off-site from out there here. After a certain amount of time, when we don't find somebody in a neighborhood that supposedly walked off, I don't want to get behind the 8 ball. The FBI was called quickly. They can always go back home, but I want them here as soon as we could get them. So to give you an exact point, I can't do that. The search team is doing their job. The team here is doing their job. And when we figured out she wasn't there anymore, is when we backed everybody out and focused on this.
You mentioned she had been deceased for at least a month. Can you share how that was determined?
No, ma'am. All right, thank you again. I know it's hot. We will have further updates as they come, either by another press conference or a press release. Thank you.
I will say they've been extremely transparent. Now then, I want to say thank you. I'm not done with the show, so no need in going anywhere. I've started something new in order to give back to you. So I've got this little ticker that I've got for top fans. All right. As of today, our top fan is Uli, Devilment Twin, and Gaelic Girl. Woo! Right in off the bat, way before the show started to get the pre-party going. So at the end of the month, I'll see who has the most little marks, and there will be a real prize. Not the type of prizes that Pat K and Duck Lady and Poppy Red Mustang win, on our members' lives. If you know, you know. Ooh, thank you, Gaelic, growing that family. So the top 3 every day will get put into a hopper, and we shall see. All right, now let's look at, oh my. Let's look at Mad Dog and Cookie. This was covered by WRDW. And yes, I'm subscribed. Certainly am. Look at them. Now let's face it. Cookie just had a baby less than a week ago. Imagine the look on her face when SLED agents came into her hospital room and questioned her. She's in the county jail. My understanding is the only special requirement for her is pads and not tampons. Now she's going to get herself checked in 6 weeks. She is. They can't do that. You know, that's not going to.
And if you can meet the.
She probably thought that her just having a baby, they wouldn't do anything to her. Britt, where'd Britt go? Britt wants to know, do you think the parents told them where they put Javeayah? No. I think they did geo-tracking, geo-fencing, and that's why they're in Fairfield County, which my understanding is they went through a family member's property, and now they are looking in a pond. That's just what I read. Can't confirm it, can't deny it, because I'm not there.
Requirements.
Watch her face.
You will be released from this facility. However, being released on bond will have no effect on your charges or your day in court. Your release may necessitate contacting the bonding company for assistance. There is a list of local bonding company names and phone numbers in the back to help. You have the right to a jury trial. You also have the right and an obligation to attend all court proceedings.
Well, Vic for Dub I Play Games, welcome to the channel. I would love for you to grab the link and tell us what's going on in Aiken County. You don't need to show your face. You don't need to tell us your name. But you are right there, and I would love to know what is going on. Rachel, you too. You're right there, girlfriend. Grab that link.
If you choose not to attend, you may be tried in your absence. A bench warrant may be issued for your arrest, and you could face additional charges. If your charges are dismissed or you are found not guilty, you also have the right to petition the court to have those charges expunged, which means that they will come off of your criminal history. You have the right to represent yourself, or you can get your own attorney. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, the court may appoint an attorney to represent you. We will start the qualification process today, but it is up to you to follow up. For charges that will be heard in General Sessions Court, you contact the Public Defender's Office to complete the application process. Court dates, times, and locations will be included in the paperwork that I'm about to give you, so don't try to keep up with anything in your head. For charges that will be heard in General Sessions Court, you have the right to a preliminary hearing. A preliminary hearing does not determine if you are guilty or not guilty. It simply confirms if probable cause exists to move forward to trial with the charges that you face. If you want a preliminary, I will give you within 10 days, and that 10 days starts today. You will get a copy of everything that you sign. Understand that by signing, know that it is not an admission of guilt or anything other than receipt of the documents as part of this bond hearing process. Please follow the deputy's guidance and sign and initial everywhere that it is highlighted in yellow. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. Oh, he got a yes, sir out of her. Yes, sir. WSEM is my personal recording studio. I'm addicted to your channel. Been watching and following you since 2019. I enjoy your station very much. Hit me up. Send me an email. I'd love to collab. My goodness. I'm fangirling over here. Woo! Woo!
Miss Aaron, you've been charged with homicide by child abuse. You understand that charge?
Yes, sir.
You understand that if convicted, it carries up 20 years to life in prison? You
Yes.
understand that? You've also been charged with filing a false police report of a felony violation. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
It carries up to 5 years in prison or a $5,000 fine. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you want to see if you qualify for a court-appointed attorney, or are you going to retain the services? Are you going to retain the services of your own legal counsel?
I can get public assistance.
Okay.
Okay, so she makes $1,300 every 2 weeks. Well, used to. And she said she can get public assistance. But here's the kicker. He's going to tell her that you're not getting a public defender. We got to wait for you to be donkey dick broke before we do anything with you. Do you remember the case out of Florida, Orgelio Pupo and Morgan King, where he was graping her daughter? And her daughter, obviously, at a very, very, very young age, had a very explainable problem going on downstairs. Her mom took her to Target after putting a panty liner on her, bought her a toy, got a sewing kit, and stitched up her daughter. Now, his parents got him a private attorney. He's going to be in jail for the rest of his life. Morgan was told by the judge, since you own property, you will not get a public defender. So forget it. It took her almost a year to sell her house. And then she still couldn't get a public defender because she made money off of it. So the money she made off the house went to her daughter. Then she got a public defender. Oh, yeah. These people are damn nasty.
So answer a couple of questions for me. Are you employed?
Yes, sir.
And where do you work?
Transcom.
Transcom?
Yes, sir.
Do you get paid weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly?
Bi-weekly.
And on average, what do you typically bring home every 2 weeks?
1,300.
All right, so he's doing the math. He's just like, okay, well, then you got 2 paychecks coming in. That might be a retainer for you to get an attorney. If not, she'll have to send her money, and old boy will have to send his money to their drug-addicted child that was just born July 1st to be as broke as possible. And then they'll deal with it in September when the South Carolina Circuit Court sees their asses and deals with it then. They're in no hurry.
Anybody else live in the household with you?
Yes, sir. The father.
So just one?
Yes, sir.
Does he do anything to contribute to the financial status of the home?
He work at DHL.
Okay. All right, this time, you make too much money to qualify for a court-appointed attorney.
Okay.
So you're going to need to.
Oh my gosh. He just said, you make too much to get a court-appointed attorney. She goes, okay. Now, that'd be kind of where I would say, well, I'm going to have to represent myself for today and let you know when they see this, they're going to shit can me because they're not going to let me do my job from the county jail. Okay? Now, I would love to know what she has saved up because old boy didn't go to get a job until it was getting closer to her delivery date. I don't think she strikes me as the save your pennies for a rainy day chick, but that's just me. Ashley, don't remember that case. Yeah, look it up. Morgan King and Orgelio Pipo. It's damn disgusting. Per his words, you're right, Britt. In her mind, because he flops at her house every now and then to get her pregnant and flops across town, he's still part of the household.
Retain the services of legal counsel on your own. You also have a first court appearance set up for September 18th of this year at 9 a.m. in the main courtroom at the Aiken County Judicial Center, 109 Park Avenue Southeast in Aiken. If you're able to bond out, then you'll need to be there for this first appearance. If you have not bonded out on these charges, the sheriff's office will transport you to the courtroom. Does Victim Services have anything they'd like to add to the record this morning?
Yes, we ask that she complies with DSS requirements.
All right, now I'm going to ask you guys. DSS is their victim's advocate for Javeayah, not for Cookie and not for Mad Dog. We request that she complies. Well, she didn't before. She continued doing the rugs. She moved from Union County to Aiken County, 107 miles away, thinking they wouldn't find her or bother her. Little did she know, it wasn't going to take them that long to find her. Look at her. County Crocs. Tell you what, I'll never get over that. I remember when old Sarah Boone came rolling in with her county Crocs on and her county haircut. Whew. County clothes. Man. And I'm sure that's a real comfortable position for a woman that just gave pregnant. Just gave birth, not just gave pregnant. I've had too much coffee. Forgive me.
Very good. Is there anyone from law enforcement that is here to put anything on the record? Very well.
Okay, this statement's going to get me in trouble. Put me in the corner and spank me. Let me out for dinner. The drugs didn't do it. The drugs did not kill Javeayah. Immorality did it. No spirit. No connection with Jesus. No accountability. No maternal instinct. I'm not saying that the drugs helped, but I will die on that hill. I've said it with so many other cases. The drugs didn't do it. Having zero soul is what does these things. Well, look at Lisa A. I'm not in trouble after all. She said no soul. I'm not saying go out and do the drugs. I'm saying don't simplify it. and say things like, well, just because they were on drugs, Brooks. Brooks, they were on drugs. Brooks, how come you don't say anything about them being on drugs? Because I don't give a fuck what people put in their body or who they put in their body. She was probably calmer when she was doing the drugs and didn't beat her then.
All right. Ms. Herring, with regards to homicide by child abuse, it carries 20 years to life if convicted. Based on the severity of the charge and the penalty that it carries, I do not have the authority to set.
All right, so this was the bond hearing earlier this morning for...
Okay, so now let's get to old boys. His is a little more interesting. Oh, I'm going to see her initially. Hold on.
She will have to go and retain counsel on her own because she didn't qualify again for...
Well, let's see if her parents are going to help her. What about the brother she lied to that kept calling her out? Why was my niece not a part of this?
public defender status, and you heard that she will have to be, she will adhere to DSS requirements. So Department of Social Services with the state is...
She's not going to have those nails for long. Nope, I have that nice looking hair for very long. They're going to chip those suckers right off. She still has her damn hospital bracelet on.
Involved at this time. I know that a lot of people have asked about the baby that she gave birth to when she called 911 and said Javeayah was missing. We know that she did have a child in the hospital, and that child is with other family at this time. So that's what we know about the situation. Javeayah's body has still not been recovered.
Well, maybe that rumor isn't true about the baby being born with rugs in the baby system, because we have heard about these things happening before, and sometimes babies will be in the hospital for quite a while they're getting said substances out of their body. So we won't know till we know.
As far as we know, that's the last information we have from the sheriff's office, and we know that they were searching up in Great Falls, South Carolina. That's in Chester County. Your Meredith Anderson was up there yesterday and got plenty of photos and videos, and Javeayah's family actually showed up to the scene, and some of them telling us that they learned about most of this, or that she was deceased because of Facebook posts, which is heartbreaking to hear.
I'm telling you. Hence why I've been on this Nancy Guthrie thing. Social media does tell a story if you put it together properly. When suddenly someone isn't posting, or they're no longer posting a picture of a child, it sets a precedent. We have an amazing woman that's coming on the show sometime this week, and she's the one that pointed out, this is a totally different case, nothing to do with Javeayah, that she abruptly stopped posting on January 27th. She said she was an avid poster. January 27th, she stopped altogether. Even with people commenting to her, she wasn't commenting back. The family had their suspicions. I don't know how you would act on something like that.
So that's the newest update today in the search. For those of you.
Okay, now let's get to him.
Okay, so the circuit.
Woo! Walk of shame for my dog. Look at him shuffling.
Court will hear bond with... Okay, here we've got some video for you guys.
He can have a seat.
This just happened, so we're feeding this back here as quickly as we can. I mean, this just happened, so you guys are getting your first look with me. I'm also seeing this for the first time with you guys.
Mr. Harris.
Yes, sir.
Today is Sunday, July 5th, 2026. My name is Judge Thornton. You're in bond court. When bond is set, and if you can meet the requirements of the bond, you will be released from this facility. However, being released on bond will have no effect on your charges or your day in court. You've been charged with homicide by child abuse, which carries a prison sentence, if convicted, of 20 years to life. You understand that?
Yes.
You have the right to a jury trial. You also have the right and obligation to attend all court proceedings. You have the right to represent yourself and get your own attorney. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, the court may appoint an attorney to represent you. We will start that qualification process today, but it is up to you to follow up.
It's really not up to Mad Dog. They'll be pulling Mad Dog out of his bunk in the county and bringing his ass into circuit court. Now, by then, he will be broke. Because you know, Cookie's mama is going to say, I need that money to take care of your baby. And Tina Kent said that, no, they don't keep babies in the hospital. I don't know what kind of medication they give them, but she said, it's rough. Hey, PJ Second Chance. Glad you're here, baby.
Your case is going to be heard in General Sessions Court. So after today's preliminary application, you will be given an opportunity to meet with the Public Defender's Office to confirm if that's the direction you want to go. Court dates, times, and locations of all future court dates and proceedings will be included in the paperwork that I will give you today. Charges, you also have a right to a preliminary hearing. A preliminary hearing does not determine if you are guilty or not guilty. It simply confirms that there's probable cause sufficient to move forward to trial with the charges that you face. Understanding all this and the charges and the penalties that you face, do you want to see if you qualify for a court-appointed attorney, or do you plan on contesting these charges by retaining your own legal counsel?
I don't have an attorney or a lawyer yet. I'm just Can you repeat the question?
Let's just see if you qualify for a court-appointed attorney.
I have a feeling that the judge is going to do some real quick math. Okay? And the elevator with Mad Dog does not go all the way to the top. I'm just telling you right now, it does not. The lights are on, but Mad Dog is not home.
Are you employed anywhere?
Yes, sir.
And where do you work?
DHL Bridgestone.
Say that again for me.
DHL Bridgestone.
And do you get paid weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly?
Weekly.
Weekly. And what do you, on average, bring home every week?
It was my first check. I haven't seen it yet.
All right, well, he won't see that check because I don't think they're going to let him call Bank of South Carolina this week to check his balance. No, I do not think so.
You don't know. All right, besides you, how many of us live in the household with you?
Just me, my girlfriend, my child.
Okay, does she contribute to the financial status of the house as well?
Yes, sir.
What about your girlfriend that got your hair done, Mad Dog?
You also have a first initial court appearance date set up for September 18th of this year at 9 a.m. in the main courtroom at the Aiken County Judicial Center, 109 Park Avenue Southeast in Aiken. So once again, don't try to keep up with all these numbers and dates in your head.
Yeah, because we're not going to give you an ink pen. So you're just going to have to remember. Don't forget, we will remind you. I love this judge because he keeps reminding them of the address as if they're going to get an Uber to come over. So he adds a little insult to injury throughout this process. Oh, no, you make too much money for an attorney. Nah, I'm not dealing with bond. That's a circuit court thing, and they're too busy. They'll deal with you in September. Oh, by the way, there's the address. So in case you escape, remember, you have an appointment with the circuit judge in September.
It'll be a part of the paperwork that I'll give you in just a few minutes. Remember that you also have a right to request a preliminary hearing, and paperwork included as well. You've got 10 days to submit that paperwork, and that 10 days starts today. Now, with regards to the charge, bond, you're here to have a bond set, but this court does not have the authority or the jurisdiction to set a bond for a sentence of a crime that could get you life in prison. So today's bond is being denied, and it's also being transferred to the circuit court, where a circuit court judge will hear this case within the next 30 days, and a circuit court judge will set the bond for the charge. But for now, there is no bond. All right? And I do not qualify you at this point for a court-appointed attorney. So it would be my advice to you to seek legal counsel to represent you as you move forward. All right? Best of luck to you. We're adjourned.
With victim services, we are asking that he complies with DSS requirements.
Yes. Thank you, Victim Services. I appreciate that. You comply with DSS's.
I don't know what an HOS charge is. I know that the charges are homicide by child abuse. And Cookie has another charge for false police report. So they each have homicide by child abuse. Now, this is going to be the game, and obviously it's not a game. You know what I'm talking about. Who's going to blame the other first? Is he going to spill it and say, hey, she killed her. We've been hiding her body. Thought I had till July 15th. Or is she going to blame him? Either way, they will get the evidence because they will find Javeayah. They're working very hard to find her in brutal heat. I did see that in Fairfield County. Y'all buckle up. The heat index is going to be 112 today. That's the heat index. And it's also a lot of humidity.
Requirements. All right. That's a condition of the bond. Very good. Thank you. All right, come on.
Well, there you have it. There's the bond hearing for Javeayah Harris, who is the father of 4-year-old Javeayah Harris, who is still missing tonight, but is believed to be deceased at this time. You heard the judge say, good luck to you, as he seeks legal counsel or tries to find legal counsel and proceeds with his court hearings as well. So if you guys are just catching up here, the mother, Mishaela Herring, was arrested and charged just like the father was, and had her bond hearing earlier this morning. That was denied, but this judge does not have the authority. You heard him say, does not have the authority to set bond for a homicide by child abuse case, because it's a charge that could lead to life in prison or death. So this judge does not have the authority to set a bond for a charge like that in South Carolina. So it has to go to a circuit court judge, and that will be held in the next 30 days or so.
30 days or so, he said September 18th. I guess old boy who has a really nice polo shirt on, it looks starched, didn't catch that part. It's really okay. Britt has a really good point. She's in a different, Jules. Let me get back to Britt's point first. He said this was his first check he was going to receive. So he was home much more with Javeayah, possibly at the time this terrible thing happened. Yep. And if she did it, I don't know why he covered for her. If he did it, I don't know why she covered for him. And Jules, thank you for setting this straight, because I don't think I explained it correctly to Criminal Med. Maybe she just popped in. She's in a different county. They're searching in Fairfield County. They're not in Aiken County. And there is a pond there. And I believe it's WRDW that followed them out there, and they're keeping people updated on just like what they can see from their bird's eye view.
Where that judge will hear this case and then set bond. So they are essentially held until that hearing happens, where they will go before another circuit court judge and they will hear their case, and then bond will be set at that time as well. So that is the latest update with this case. We still do not have any update on the search for Javeayah Harris. All we know is that yesterday, DNR, law enforcement, and SLED's helicopter were up in Great Falls, South Carolina, which is Chester County in the upstate, past Columbia, about 2 hours from Augusta. They were up there searching.
Okay, so maybe they moved from Fairfield to Chester County. PJ Second Chance, how are you, girlfriend? Yes. Department of Human Services, Department of Social Services, what they call it in South Carolina, made contact with the mom. We call her Cookie around here because I'm not using her real name. They made contact with her after Mad Dog's mom called DSS about bad living conditions, and she suspected there might be some drug use. And then from there, hop, skip, jump, she moved from Union County to Aiken County.
At the time, we didn't know why they were searching, but we did end up hearing from from some of Javeayah's family members who showed up to the scene there. Some of them telling us they heard about some of this news over Facebook, which is just absolutely heartbreaking. And we heard from the sheriff yesterday that this is one of the hardest things that he's ever had to announce in his 30-plus years of law enforcement. And you can find our full coverage on our website, WRDW.com, too. We are in.
Well, it's absolutely heartbreaking. And this little baby girl did not do anything to deserve any of this. She did not deserve these parents. Until I know better, I'm going to say she didn't deserve the grandparents she had, because what's 100 miles when you have a grandbaby? I know somebody that drove from South Carolina to Vegas to Oklahoma City to spend time with her grandkids. I know a lot of you that will go through hell and high water to see their grandkids. I happen to be one of them. Until I know better about the grandparents, right now I'm going to have to go ahead and side-eye them just a little bit, because this baby girl deserved all eyes on her.
Hi, baby. Hey.
What you want to say about the baby?
Hi, baby. Hey.
What you want to say about the baby?
Hi, baby. Hi, baby.
Bless her. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. She's waving to her mama's belly. She was excited to be a big sister. Think about that. She wanted to be a mermaid when she grows up, which I find that to be absolutely adorable. She is just precious. And to take that little light out of her eyes, well, there's only one place for people like that. Well, I want to say thank you very much to our most amazing mod squad. And what is going on in here? Did y'all fall on the donate button? We got memberships from Angel P, Stacy, Jude, Tina, Gaelic, and Janica. What am I going to do with y'all? Tina said she reminds me so much of my granddaughter. I know another lady that said she reminds her so much of hers, to the point she drove off crying when she heard the news on Saturday and said, I got to go do a hug and run. I just have to see my granddaughter. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you for being here for all the right reasons, and that is to support the victims in these cases. I have 2 shows tomorrow, so, you might want to study up on what's been going on in Hampden County, Ohio. 16 children were found in a house that you wouldn't let anyone live in. You wouldn't put a dead snake in that place. So check for your notifications. Make sure you're subscribed. And if I don't see you over there, I'll see you in Discord. By the way, if you would like to be part of Discord, send me an email. It is cll72020@gmail.com. And I will send it over to Gaelic Girl, and you'll get approved. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you much.